In the heart of ancient Egypt, where the Nile's life-giving waters flowed and gold adorned the palaces of the wealthy, lived a man whose name would forever echo as a warning against arrogance. This man was Qarun. Once, he was a respected scholar, a man of wisdom known throughout the land. But as his fortune grew, so did a shadow in his heart. His wealth became legendary, so immense that the keys to his treasure vaults were a heavy burden, carried on the shoulders of strong men. His halls were filled with glittering jewels, his windows draped in fine silks, and his heart grew heavy, not with gratitude but with pride. This was the rise of Qarun. He would walk through the streets of Egypt, dressed in garments woven from pure gold thread. His servants would march ahead, fanning him with ostrich feathers, while others scattered rose petals in his path. The people would watch, their eyes wide with a mix of admiration and envy. But when the wise among them gently reminded him to be humble, to thank God for his blessings, Qarun would scoff. "This wealth," he declared with a dismissive wave of his hand, "is mine. Because of my own knowledge, my own skill, no one gave it to me. I earned it." And with those words, his heart hardened like stone. He began to turn a blind eye to the poor, to mock those in need, and to treat his servants as if they were nothing more than dust beneath his gilded sandals. His connection to the people and to his own humanity was slowly eroding, replaced by an insatiable pride. One morning, driven by his vanity, Qarun decided to stage a grand parade, a spectacle to showcase his unrivaled power and wealth. He adorned himself in a robe made of gold-threaded fabric and placed a crown of brilliant sapphires upon his head. His horses were draped in jewels that caught the sunlight, and his chariots gleamed so brightly they were hard to look at. As he rode majestically through the city, whispers rippled through the crowd. "How lucky is Qarun?" many sighed. "If only we had a fraction of what he has." But amidst the chorus of envy, a few wise men spoke in hushed tones, their voices filled with foresight. "Do not envy him," they cautioned. "His pride will be his undoing." Qarun, with his sharp ears, overheard these words and let out a booming laugh that echoed through the streets. "Let me show you what true power looks like," he bellowed. He then led the mesmerized crowd to a valley just outside the city, where his personal treasure vaults were carved deep into the earth. With a dramatic flourish, he commanded his servants to open the massive doors. A collective gasp rose from the crowd. Before their very eyes lay mountains of gold, silver, and precious stones, sparkling and shimmering like a sea of captured stars. It was a sight beyond imagination, a treasure that could fund empires. Qarun stood there, basking in their astonishment, his chest puffed out with unconquerable pride. But destiny had other plans. That very night, as Qarun sat alone amidst his glittering treasures, a deep rumble began to shake the ground beneath him. The earth trembled violently, the air grew still and heavy, and the oil lamps in his palace flickered and died, plunging him into darkness. Panic seized his heart. The ground split open with a terrifying roar, like thunder right beneath his feet. Qarun, his arrogance vanishing in a wave of pure terror, scrambled toward the door. But it was too late. The marble floors cracked and shattered under his feet. The massive golden pillars that held up his palace swayed like reeds in a storm, and the walls began to crumble into dust. The very earth that had once carried his vast riches began to swallow him whole. His servants' screams were lost in the chaos. His horses neighed in terror, and his mountains of gold, silver, and jewels cascaded into the gaping abyss. The ground closed over him, his palace, his wealth, and his suffocating arrogance, leaving behind only a chilling silence and a cloud of dust that slowly settled under the pale moonlight. By morning, the once proud palace of Qarun was gone, vanished without a trace. In its place was a desolate, hollow pit, quiet and cold. The people who had envied him just a day before now stood at its edge, their faces filled with a mixture of awe and profound fear. "If this is the end of Qarun, they whispered to one another. Then truly, pride leads only to ruin. Generations passed, and the story of Qarun transformed into a legend, a timeless lesson whispered among travelers and passed down from parents to children. He who forgets gratitude, the story goes, loses everything he owns. Today, no palace remains, no treasure shines from that forgotten valley. There is only the enduring memory of a man who possessed the world but lost his soul, a man who drowned in his own wealth. The story of Qarun serves as a powerful reminder that true wealth is not measured in gold and jewels, but in humility, gratitude, and compassion. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this story and want to explore more tales from history that hold timeless lessons, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Until next time, stay curious.